Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and this is my retro review for Son of Frankenstein, which came out in 1939, and unlike Son of Dracula, actually does follow the Son of Frankenstein. There's no confusion to this like there was in Son of Dracula. This movie stars Basil Rathbone, who plays Wolf von Frankenstein, the son of Henry Frankenstein, and his family has returned to his father's estate. Wolf von Frankenstein decides to explore the nearby ruins of the castle where Henry did all of his experiments, only to find Igor, played by Bela Lugosi. Igor claims to have been an assistant to Henry Frankenstein, but this is the first time we're introduced to this character, and it's soon revealed that the monster, played again by Boris Karloff, has survived the events of Bride of Frankenstein. He's just been in a coma all this time. And Wolf von Frankenstein decides to try and reanimate the monster and revive him to bring honor back to the name of Frankenstein, because when he and his family first arrive into the town, they're not treated with much respect. So the monster is revived, but Igor has other plans, because Igor is the one who's able to control the monster, and Igor uses that monster for more sinister schemes. I was curious on how I would feel about Son of Frankenstein going into it, because it's no longer directed by James Whale, and it's not based off the Frankenstein book by Mary Shelley. So this could have easily gone wrong, and after seeing Son of Dracula, I was kind of worried where this movie was going to go. And while I don't think Son of Frankenstein is anywhere near the level of the first two movies, it's one of the non-essential Universal monster movies that I'd say is worth checking out. One thing that makes this movie stand out is the production value. This is not only the longest of all the Universal monster movies at an hour and 39 minutes, but it's also the most expensive. And you can tell by the way this movie looks that they really spent a lot of money on it. The production design has this amazing German expressionist look to it, with a lot of shadows, some weird angles and designs for the Frankenstein manor. It really does make this movie stand out and not kind of lumped together when you think about the Frankenstein movies. The three main actors do a really good job. Basil Rathbone was well known for playing Sherlock Holmes, and he does a great job in this role. He's very confident. He doesn't think that his family name should deserve the shame that it's gotten because of his father. And even though some of his intentions on trying to control the monster are very misguided, you can see it's coming from a place of trying to restore his family's name and protect his own family, his wife, and his own son. Bela Lugosi as Igor is fantastic. He is unrecognizable from his role as Dracula. It's a very different character, but Bela Lugosi manages to make this character really creepy, and you could tell that he might have been a henchman and a helper to the Frankenstein family, but he has his own agendas. Igor doesn't really serve anybody except Igor. And this is the character that most people think of when they think of Frankenstein having a hunchback assistant. One thing I found really funny when watching this movie is how the public view of Igor just got him so wrong. I'm talking about like the general public that watches movies. Because whenever people think about Igor being a hunchback assistant to the Frankensteins, they usually think about Igor from Young Frankenstein, because the actual hunchback assistant in the Universal Frankenstein movies is Fritz. Igor is not a hunchback, whether it's this version or the lovably sadistic one from Epic Universe. It's kind of funny that people have mistaken Igor as being a hunchback. As for the monster, Boris Karloff once again does a good job, and the makeup work by Jack Pierce is still great. But I was actually very disappointed with the way the monster was portrayed. Unlike the last two movies where the monster was a misunderstood misfit and just wanted to be loved, he is definitely a monster this time around. He is a pawn used by Igor to kill off the jurors that tried to hang Igor, which is why he has a broken neck. It just makes the monster less interesting and less sympathetic for me. Not to mention that he goes back to being a mute character. He just grunts a lot, completely forgot how to speak, although there is one scene that I really love with the monster. It's the scene where he's finally walking around, meets Wolf von Frankenstein for the first time, and then sees himself in a mirror and is horrified by the way he looks. And he drags Wolf von Frankenstein aside to have him look at the monster in the mirror. It's a great scene, and Boris Karloff manages to convey so much with no dialogue. There are some other great moments in this movie, like there's the inspector, played by Lionel Atwill, who had a horrific experience with the monster as a kid, where the monster ripped out his arm and his replacement is a wooden arm. The story that he tells about his experience with the monster is pretty chilling, and this is another character that was spoofed in Young Frankenstein. So if you want an overall generalization of which movies Young Frankenstein was parodying, it's the first three. The finale of the movie is also pretty good, and it's the only time where I really felt for the monster. And even though I think the ending to Bride of Frankenstein is far more tragic, this is kind of a good way to end this era of Frankenstein movies with Boris Karloff. So this is a good movie overall. It's not a great one, and I don't think it's a masterpiece per se. It's entertaining, it's got some really great performances, a great final send-off for Boris Karloff as the monster, but I didn't connect with it emotionally like I did with Bride of Frankenstein, and overall didn't wow me besides the German expressionist production design. Out of all the non-Bride of Frankenstein sequels that I've seen in the Universal Monster lineup, this is the one besides Dracula's Daughter that I would say is worth checking out. It does enough on its own to make it stand out from the original films and be its own thing. And there you go, that's my review for Son of Frankenstein. I hope you enjoyed it. Now next time we're going to be talking about the direct sequel to Son of Frankenstein, and the first movie where the monster is not played by Boris Karloff, The Ghost of Frankenstein. When I said that Son of Frankenstein and Dracula's Daughter were two non-essential Universal Monster movies that are worth checking out, you'll find out why in more detail when I review Ghost of Frankenstein. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. I want to give a special thank you to my subscribers and YouTube members right over here. You guys are the reason why this channel continues to grow every day, and if you want to help to financially support the channel, you could do so via YouTube memberships for as little as $1.99 a month. But until next time, I want to know what you guys think about Son of Frankenstein. Whatever your opinions are, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on these social media platforms and my theme park and travel channel right here on YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.